Hello and welcome to this demo on tail-based sampling. My name is Juraci Paixão Crolin. I'm a software engineer at Red Hat and I work on the distributed tracing team. I'm also a maintainer on the Jaeger project and I help a little bit with the OpenTelemetry Collector. Now the demo here is part of my presentation called Sampling in Distributed Tracing, part of the o11yfest conference. All right, so this demo here is separated into two parts. The first one is how things work without sampling. We have a client generating data and targeting Jaeger Collector. And in between, we place an OpenTelemetry Collector, so that which is not very smart there. So it's just doing the proxy between the client and the Jaeger Collector. Now, on the second part of this demo, we're going to use or take advantage of this proxy and do some tail-based sampling in there, right? So we have on one side a load generator acting as our client. On the other side, we have Jaeger Collector, and in between, we have the OpenTelemetry Collector. All right, so let me show you how that all works. And start by looking at the configuration here that we have for the Jaeger case. So the first case, we have, in both cases, we have only one receiver, the Jaeger Thrift HTTP, and we have as exporter Jaeger on a localhost 14250. We tie them all in a pipeline, so we have a receiver for Jaeger and exporter Jaeger. So we start here at the OpenTelemetry Collector contrib. So the contrib is the distribution where we have the tail-based sampling processor. All right, so we specify here the Jaeger configuration, and we start also Jaeger using Podman here, and everything seems to be working there. And now, yeah, so Jaeger is now in the ready state as well on the OpenTelemetry Collector side. All right, so we're going to use a load generator called Omniscient synthetic load generator, and it receives a parameter file with a topology. Let's actually take a look at that topology file. We specify a service name front end, so it is the one that we are more interested in, and we generate randomly three types of tag sets, one containing a starter Charmander, and another one for Squirtle, and another one for Bulbasaur's for the / product endpoint. All right, so Java -jar, and then we start this load generator. Let's now see if we get data on Jaeger side, and looks like we have. All right, so front end / product, and let's see. So we have 8 traces matching that filter. So, and we should have a starter. Yeah, so we have a Squirtle in here, right? So for this call here, we've got a starter Squirtle. We have 8 traces. Now we have 20. Let's see if we get more. 20 is our limit. Oh, wait. So perhaps not so many. Let's try 1,000. All right, so we have now 28 traces, so that's good. So we are getting more data. So 32 traces, we're getting more data. So the load generator is working. All right, so for this trace here, we have a different starter. So we have Charmander as the starter. All right, let's try to see if we've got any Bulbasaurs. All right, so Bulbasaur. All right, we have 14 of those. So looks good. Looks like we are indeed getting some data. So let's stop the load generator, and let's stop also the OpenTelemetry Collector. So for now, everything that was generated by the load generator was received on the Jaeger side. Now we're going to change that. We're going to add so we have the same receiver, and we're going to add now a processor here, the tail sampling processor. And we're going to tell it that we're only interested in traces containing spans, containing a attribute starter with a value Squirtle. So we're not interested in Bulbasaurs or in Charmanders. Now, if we compare it with the pipeline with the first case, we only have a new processor in here, right? So everything is the same. The exporter is also equivalent. All right, so let's start again. Now passing the tail sampling configuration. All right, so the Jaeger connection is in ready state, so everything should be working. And let's see if we got more. So we should not get any new Bulbasaurs. So we have 17 now. We had 14. Oh yeah, okay. Right. So those are not new. Those are minute old. So those the 3 new ones got generated probably before we killed the process. All right. So those are all a minute old, and if it wasn't working, then we would have seen new data. Let's see if we got new squirrels. Right, so that's the only one that we should be having now, and indeed we do have a few new squirrels. All right, so we still have 22, but if we open it, yeah, so that's from a few seconds ago. If we open it, we should see that it's squirrel. If we remove it, we see how many traces we have in total. We have 62 calls to the front end / product, and we see that we have less data than we had during the first run, so we have less traces, right? And now we have 62, now 65, so we have also a slower rate here than what we had in the first scenario. And the newest ones should all be squirrels, right? So that one, the second one, should also be squirrel. All right, it is. All right, so that seems to be working fine. And that's actually all that I had for this demo here today. All right, so you can see that table-based sampling is not that hard to do. There are some caveats to that, and I talk about those caveats during the presentation at the conference. And I do hope that you join us and watch the presentation in there. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.